was rushing to get to school when I suddenly realized that the man walking beside me was actually my husband. But my husband didn't recognize me at all. He just looked confused and walked away. So after school, I went straight to his house and barged right in. ただいま。
ただいま。違うよ。間違ってるよ。
Once I got inside, I had this nostalgic look on my face and told the man directly that I was his wife, Maya's mother. When he heard this, he couldn't help but burst out laughing. He thought I was just kidding around. But without saying another word, I rushed into my daughter's room and touched her face. こんなに大きくなった若い時の私とっくり Then I ran back downstairs and found my memorial photo in the living room. I scolded them, saying that I obviously had so many beautiful photos. They shouldn't have used such an ugly one. 本当に死んでたのね。私が死んだのが10年前。つまり10年前に死んでまた生まれ変わった。はい。今日はいきなり思い出したのよ。私、新島孝恵だって。Both mother and daughter thought something was wrong with my brain and were about to call my parents. But when I saw the takeout containers on the dinner table, I started criticizing them again. I told them that we had such nice dishes at home, so they should put the takeout food on proper plates instead of eating straight from the containers. Otherwise, what was the point of buying those dishes? Suddenly, I heard a bell ringing outside. I realized it was getting late, so I had to head back. これから圭介、あんた10年経ったからっていくらなんでも老け込みすぎよ。どこにジジイかと思ったの。Before leaving, I said I'd come back again tomorrow. With that, I left happily, leaving behind a father and daughter who were completely baffled. The next day, I headed straight to their house after school, but this time nobody was home. I skillfully found the spare key from under a flower pot nearby and went inside. I found the secret stash of money I had hidden away, then opened up a photo album and looked happily at pictures of what used to be a happy family. But when I saw a blank page, I realized that in the 10 years since my death, my daughter and husband hadn't been happy at all. So I decided I needed to do something for them. After going back, I called the man and asked him to meet me at our old place. Before he could say anything, I hung up the phone. The man didn't think much of it and got on the bus to head home. He remembered how when we used to date, I was always late. But unexpectedly, halfway there, I really did show up at our old meeting spot with exactly the same expression I used to have. Now the man had no choice but to keep our appointment. I dragged him to the mall and took him to the electronics section, where I bought him the latest model smartphone. 時と、これでめでたく、お友達、ね、どこぞのおっさんの連絡先登録してなんて、口が裂けても言えないし。
どこぞのおっさんって？
あんたに決まってるでしょ。From then on, I texted him every day to say good morning. おはよう。今日も一日、しっかり頑張んなさいよ。The man thought it was really weird. After school, I found my daughter Maya and told her I was her mother. I asked about her work and her dating situation. あなたにグラマーがそのくらいの私に書くには、ちゃんちゃんかりんでたもんだけどね。Then I pinched Maya's cheek, which made her feel really uncomfortable. She told me not to be so familiar with her. That night, I sent another text saying goodnight. When the man saw it, he wanted to text back goodnight too. But after thinking about it, he decided it wasn't appropriate and didn't reply. But the next morning, I showed up at his house again. I was about to walk into the house, but he said he had friends coming over and told me to leave quickly. When I heard this, I started scolding him instead, telling him he needed to clean up the yard properly to host his friends well, so the house could stay in good condition for years to come. After tidying up the yard, I personally prepared dinner to entertain his friends, showing off my skilled cooking techniques. Seeing this, the man had no choice but to let me help. Just then, Maya came home and saw me in her kitchen. She angrily told me to get out, because that was the place I used to spend time before I died. So I was kicked out. I waited outside until evening, peeking from outside the yard. I heard the man saying he was planning to sell the house and move away. I felt a bit sad hearing this. After the friends left, I went back into the house. This time the man didn't kick me out. He even offered me a cup of coffee and told me he was going to move away soon to live the same monotonous life somewhere else, just waiting to die, because the person he loved most was no longer there. He had no hope left in life. After hearing this, I sat down next to him, cupped his face in my hands and comforted him. I told him to pull himself together because I was the reincarnation of his wife, so I would always be with him. The man thought I was talking nonsense and kicked me out again. The next day at noon, the man suddenly received received a package. When he opened it, there was a lunchbox inside. He curiously tried one of the lion's head meatballs and immediately teared up from how spicy it was. But he didn't mind at all. Instead, he kept stuffing the meatballs into his mouth like crazy because he knew clearly that this was exactly how I used to cook. In that moment, he finally believed that I really was his wife's reincarnation. Maya also received a package with a birthday cake inside. It had candles representing all the ages from when she turned 10 onwards. This was the first birthday cake she'd received since I died. Only then did she believe that I had really come back. So, she ran to the school and saw me. She was about to call out to me, but her father beat her to it and called out my name first.
本当に高江なのか。
北朝霞駅のホーム。あなたが私にプロポーズした場所。結婚記念日は3月20日。最初にくれたプレゼントはトマトの形のコースター。
初めて食べた君の夜食は眠気も吹っ飛ぶパンチの効いたハバネロミートボール。
We finally recognized each other and were reunited in this way. Every day, I would pack lunch for my husband and hand it to him on his way to work.
ああ、そうだ、高江。君が18歳になったら結婚しよう。もう一度家族になろう。
はい。
じゃあ、行ってきます。
ケンスケ？私今小学生なのよ。This daily routine kept him energized and motivated throughout his workday. He even made my photo his phone wallpaper, so he could look at me while working. His colleagues could see how happy and upbeat he'd become. After work, my husband would come pick me up from school. When he saw me walking over, he quickly hid to surprise me. But just then, a boy approached me and confessed his feelings.
白石のこと好きだ。俺と付き合ってくれ。
My husband was completely shocked when he witnessed this. He remembered how, back when I was alive, I was incredibly popular and always had guys chasing after me. This made him feel really anxious. He couldn't believe that even 10 years later, I was still just as popular with guys. Lost in these worried thoughts, he accidentally tumbled down the slope. When I discovered him, he had no choice but to awkwardly pick himself up and tell the boy to head home. Once we got to a nearby store, I asked him if he was actually jealous.
さすがに小学生相手にそれはないよ。
まあそうよね。
で、どうすんだ？
はい？
次会うのか？
なわけないでしょ。相手小学生よ。
そうだよな。
Soon the weekend arrived, and we were enjoying our couple time together. Unexpectedly, my husband's coworker was also shopping there. The coworker directly asked about our relationship. My husband couldn't get a word out and was about to tell the truth, so I quickly kicked him and explained the
お姉さ
situation
んもしか
myself.
してケンスケおじちゃんの会社の方ですか？はい。おじさんがいつもお世話になってます。親戚の白石まりかです。
After that, we made up an excuse about going to see a movie and got out of there fast. I wanted him to stop being so honest all the time, or else people would get the wrong idea. But he insisted he didn't want to lie.
嘘はつきたくない。
どういうこと？
君が一度僕の前から消えたから、君と一緒にいるこの時間を嘘やごまかしなんかに費やしたくないんだ。1分1秒も。
Hearing him say that, even though I thought he was being silly, it also made me really happy. Every morning before school, I would make him a bento lunchbox. My husband became completely dependent on this routine and looked forward to my homemade meals every single day. One day, when I didn't show up for a long time and didn't respond to his messages, he was running late for work and had to leave without seeing me. Since he couldn't reach me, he was in a terrible mood all day.
心配してます。連絡がつかないので、俺見てたらせめて既読だけでも。
No matter how worried he got, I still didn't reply. By lunchtime, his coworker noticed he was having an off day and asked what was wrong. Just as he was about to explain, his phone showed that his message had been read. He was thrilled and immediately called us to find out what had happened.
なんだよ、このメッセージの数。
ごめん。朝早なくて連絡も取れなかったから。なんか心配になっちゃって。
I explained that I was too busy today to prepare his lunch and told him not to spam me with messages in the future. Only then did my husband feel relieved. What he didn't know was that I wasn't actually busy. I had gotten up early to make his bento, but my mom caught me. When she questioned me about why I was making lunchboxes,
母親に嘘ついてどこ行ってたって聞いてんだよ。 なんで黙ってるの？
I panicked because I was terrified she would beat me up. I quickly explained that it was homework for my home economics class. Only then did my mom stop being suspicious. After that, I didn't dare casually make bento boxes for my husband anymore. I was erasing the blackboard when I noticed the date written on it. It suddenly hit me. Today was my birthday from my past life. But neither my husband nor daughter had mentioned it, and I felt a bit down about it. I came home to an empty house and looked around at the messy living room. I realized I might be too dependent on my husband. This place was supposed to be my home now. Just then, my husband texted me asking me to come over.
こっちこっち。早くに言うの。
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Takae. Happy birthday to you. お誕生日おめでとう。
I saw a birthday cake that he and his daughter had prepared for me, along with a kitchen that looked like a tornado had hit it. I was deeply moved. They had remembered my birthday all along. The reason they hadn't contacted me all day was because they'd been hiding at home, spending the entire day making me a cake.
君に心配ばかりかけてしまうけど、でも今度は君が安心できるようにしっかりするから。
My husband wanted me to trust them and feel comfortable sharing any troubles I might have with them. Hearing him say this, I was so touched. I didn't know what to say. I could only run off to the side and start crying. 寂しくなったら、またここに来てもいい。たまに甘えてもいい。だって、私今小学生なんだから。Finally, I was willing to open up about what was bothering me. The father and daughter exchanged knowing smiles. His daughter took my hand, and our little family happily ate birthday cake together. We took commemorative birthday photos and then wrote out marriage certificates, promising to marry each other again in 10 years.
ライバルは多いわよ。
そうだよね。完璧なお父さん。18歳のタケル君に勝てるかな？
However, when they dropped me off at home, my mom happened to see us. She immediately flagged down the taxi.
どちら様？今うちの娘を乗せてきたようだから。
My husband got out, wanting to explain everything, but I stopped him. I lied and said I'd run out of erases while doing homework. So I'd gone to the store to buy some and happened to run into them, which is why I got a ride back.
わざわざどうも。でも歩ける距離ですし、この子を甘やかさないでもらえますか？
My husband was hoping everyone could get acquainted, but my mom just took me and left. After the father and daughter got home, they kept thinking about what had just happened. They felt like I wasn't having a good time in my current family. My husband also remembered how whenever he brought up my current family situation, I always seemed irritated. That day, school was holding a field day and had invited parents to participate. All my classmates were excited about the event, but looking at the admission ticket in my hand, I just couldn't feel happy about it. When I got home, I was planning to tell my mom about the field day, but she was rushing off to work. Before I could even say anything, she was gone. I felt really let down. I put the ticket in a prominent spot on the table, hoping she'd notice it when she came home. But Mom worked late into the night. The next morning, I found the ticket exactly where I'd left it, untouched. Mom had just gotten off work and was so exhausted, she collapsed straight onto her bed. Looking at my worn-out mother, I had no choice but to head to school feeling helpless.
今日お弁当何がいいの？
なんでもいい。なんでも好き。
But then Mom told me she knew about today's field day, and hearing that made me happy as I headed off to school. However, when I got to school, I didn't see my mom anywhere. It turned out that the mom who had promised to bring lunch to school had received a phone call and decided not to come to the event. Instead, she chose to go to an amusement park with someone else. My husband and daughter were completely different. When they found out my school was having a field day, they enthusiastically came to the venue. When I spotted them, I quickly pulled them aside, worried that other parents might get the wrong idea. I told them they couldn't take any photos, and he reluctantly agreed.
しょうがないわね。ママ、頑張ってね。
任せなさい。
Then the field day began. Mai watched me mixed in with the elementary school kids, seriously throwing balls, and found it pretty amusing. My husband told Mai that I'd always been someone who gave my all to everything I did. During lunchtime, I watched as my classmates all pulled out loving lunchboxes that their moms had made for them and started eating happily, but I had nothing. To avoid any gossip, I could only sit by myself outside. That's when my husband brought me a lunchbox. Worried about being seen, I quickly pulled him down to crouch beside me. He told me he'd made it himself and asked me to try it and see how it tasted. We ate together, and as he watched me compliment his cooking, his face was filled with happiness he couldn't hide. In that moment, it felt like we'd gone back to our time together 10 years ago. After the field day ended, I left school with my classmates. My husband and I walked out with the crowd, but then he heard other parents talking behind us.
でも本当にまりかちゃんもかわいそうだね。両親離婚してだいぶ落ち込んでた。うちの子供が言ってたわ。結局原因なんだ。旦那の浮気と DV。あそこってほら、お母さんも結構危ない感じじゃない？近所の人がものすごい剣幕でまりかちゃんのことをしっかり声をかけたって。
Hearing those comments made him worry about me even more. To learn more about my current situation, he found my classmate Xiaowu. He learned that during a school parent-child activity, my mom had really laid into me because the rice balls I made didn't turn out well.
違う！どうしてこんなこともできないのよ。他の子はみんなできてるじゃない。
Learning about my current circumstances, he became very concerned. Even back at home, he couldn't sit still. He texted me, but didn't get a reply for a long time. Thinking about how strict my mom was, he started worrying that I might be getting mistreated.
私の今の家族のことは私がどうにかするから。嬉しかったわ。あなたと舞が応援に来てくれて。
He tried calling me, but I wouldn't pick up. Unable to put his mind at ease, he decided to come find me. It was almost 10 p.m., and my mom still wasn't home. It was pouring rain outside, and I was home alone, cleaning up the house. My husband was calling me while rushing over in a panic. That's when I finally answered the phone. He told me he wanted to have a talk with my current mom. I tried to reassure him not to worry and not to believe the rumors. Just then, my mom suddenly appeared behind me.
何なのそのスマホ。しつけたり渡してるよね。なんでそんなの持ってんの？誰にもらったの？私を騙したの。一体何回私を裏切るつもり？こいつも！
Hearing my mom yelling, he ran toward my house as fast as he could. Right as my mom raised her hand to hit me, my husband appeared just in time and grabbed her wrist.
何をしてるんだあなたは。
なんだよあんた。
あなたはそれでも母親か。
なんでそんなこと他人のあんたに言われるの？
他人じゃない。あなたが彼女を大事にしないなら彼女は僕が引き取ります。
は？
I quickly made up an excuse and pushed him out the door, but my mom was convinced that I'd been bad-mouthing her to outsiders and secretly staying in touch with my husband. She thought her own daughter hated her and hated this home. In her anger, she threw both of us out of the house.
お母さん！お母さん！開けてお願い！
My husband brought me back to our old home, and instantly my confidence came flooding back. I commanded my husband to kneel on the ground and scolded him for his harsh attitude toward my mother, saying, "That's your future mother-in-law we're talking about." Just as my husband was about to get up and explain himself,
はい。
this whole commotion actually gave us the chance to reunite and spend the sweet night together.
そろそろ寝ようか。
ママどこで寝るの？
え？
ね？
前みたいにお父さんと一緒？それは、いいこと考えた。
え？
So we laid out bedding on the floor, and for the first time in over 10 years, the three of us were lying together. However, the father and daughter just couldn't fall asleep because they both knew deep down that moments like this were truly precious. I still encouraged them to get some good rest. In the middle of the night, I quietly got up and looked at my sleeping daughter, feeling quite nostalgic. Then my husband also got up and silently watched his wife and child, and before we knew it, we had drifted off to sleep. Early the next morning, my husband woke up from his sleep and heard the sound of chopping vegetables. It was as if he could see the old me right before his eyes.
起きた。起きた。
あ
おはよう。
おはよう。
I had prepared breakfast for the father and daughter, and after eating, it was time to head to school. But I decided to go home first, and found my mum had fallen asleep with her head on the table. Being a mother myself, I understand a mother's struggles, so I thoughtfully draped a blanket over her. By the time mum woke up, I had already left for school. When school let out, my husband came to pick me up, but I suddenly brought up wanting to tell my mom the truth about my reincarnation. The thing is, Mom doesn't actually not love me. It's just that over all these years, she's been taking out all her emotions from her failed marriage on me, which is why she's always been so cold and distant toward me. We asked Mom to meet us at a tea house and told her that I was his wife who died 10 years ago, reincarnated, and had recently remembered my past life. After hearing this, Mom thought my husband was talking nonsense. But when my husband mentioned how a 10-year-old girl was making her own lunchboxes, Mom suddenly remembered something. I make bento lunches that she can't even make herself. My husband tried to explain further, but Mom didn't want to hear anymore. She thought my husband had some ulterior motive for making up such lies, so she got up and left. When she got home, Mom yelled at me. お母さん、
うるさい、うるさい、うるさい。またあのバカな話の続き？生まれ変わりが何だって？なんでそんな話を聞かされなきゃいけないの？私に負担かけないでよ。仕事だって、習い事だって、全部あんたのためにやってきたのになんでこうなんの？いつの子！いい加減にしてよ！邪魔なんだよ！
But I calmly told her that starting from the 12th of October, my memories as Marika were slowly fading away. My parents divorced. Memories of good friends were gradually disappearing too. Even photos of Mom and me where we clearly looked happy, I couldn't remember them at all. Instead, another person's memories had come to me, and I felt like I had become someone else entirely.
ごめんなさい。嘘をついて。ごめんなさい。こんなことになっちゃって。
でもお母さんには一人で泣いてほしくない。
Mom was startled by my mature tone of voice. Looking at her daughter who seemed both familiar and strange, she felt somewhat at a loss. Then I took the lunchbox I'd made for my husband and left for school, leaving one portion for Mom. She was still completely confused, but my transformation made her think back to the old days when I was innocent and carefree. The two of us had always been very happy until my husband's passing changed our relationship.
あんたがいなければあんな男と結婚なんか。 あんたのせいで私の人生めちゃくちゃなんだよ。聞いてくんないかな。
Thinking about this, Mom tasted the omelet rice I'd made. This flavor was definitely not something a 10-year-old me could have produced. That's when she finally believed what my husband had said, so she rushed out to find my husband and me. Looking at me who seemed so unfamiliar, she demanded to know who I was.
そんなまっすぐに私を見なかった。あの子はいつも私の顔色を伺ってた。ずっと私のことママってお母さんって呼ぶようになったことに気づきもしなかった。
ママかわいい。できたよ、ママ。お母さん、今日学校でね。お母さん。
あなたマリカじゃない。あなた誰なの？
I told Mom the truth. I'm Keisuke's deceased wife, Mishima Takae. Mom couldn't accept this all at once and asked where her daughter Marika had gone, but I didn't know either. Mom grabbed my husband and begged him to give her daughter back, but my husband said that I was both his wife, Nishima Takae, and her daughter Marika. He hoped that we could become a family and get along well from now on.
どうかよろしくお願いします。お母さん。
は？
お母さん？
すまんのママ。僕にとってもママですから。
Faced with a son-in-law who was even older than she was, Mom was completely at a loss. Last night, we went to the temple to pray for blessings and ran into the tea house owner. He asked us what wishes we had made.
白石家と新島家の末永い幸せを。
末永い幸せよりは今を楽しむことね。
After hearing his cryptic words, none of us understood what he meant. Just as the bell began to toll, I suddenly collapsed. When I woke up again, I no longer recognized my husband. おじさん誰？
どうしちゃったの、ママ。お父さんだよ。私のこともわからなくなっちゃったの。
When Mom called my name, I ran outside instead and bumped into the owner, then passed out. My husband quickly carried me inside. Through a mirror, the owner seemed to see something there. Early the next morning, when I woke up, I found myself back in Wanlihua's body. My husband and daughter were overjoyed to discover I had returned, but Mom couldn't bring herself to be happy. I made breakfast for everyone, but we all ate with heavy hearts. On the way home, Mom said that for a brief moment last night, she was certain Wanlihua had come back. I didn't respond. I just wanted to keep hiding the truth. When my brother heard I had fainted, he came to my husband's house to check on me, but Mom and I had already left. Even though I acted completely normal today, my husband and daughter were still worried. They told my brother about how I had lost my memory after fainting. My brother remembered that a friend of his had also lost his memory after fainting once. and had even written a novel about reincarnation. To get to the bottom of things, my husband bought 2 copies of the Friends novel and discovered the content was very similar to my experiences. So, they went to the Friends book signing event to try to get some answers from him. Since spots were limited, when my husband went up to get an autograph, he asked about reincarnation and ended up being dragged away by security. My brother stepped up next, but the friend pretended not to know him and was also escorted out. Just when everyone was at a loss, my daughter noticed a message written on the back of the signed book asking us to meet at a coffee shop. The friend explained he was afraid his mother would worry, which was why he pretended not to recognize my brother. His situation was the same as mine. He had died in an accident 5 years ago. He had originally been a teacher whose dream was to become a novelist, but he died in an accident. Because he still had attachments to this world, his soul had been wandering around. During one visit to a bookstore he used to frequent, he encountered the current owner of his body. The original owner was an athlete who had been injured in a competition and could no longer play or attend high school, feeling hopeless about life.
いっそ消えてしまいたい。
Just as he was trying to comfort her, his soul attached itself to her body. He told us
借りたものはいつか返さなきゃいけない。
本当の持ち主に。
that I wasn't reincarnated either. My soul had possessed Wan Lihua's body and would eventually have to give it back. On the way home, they all remained silent. I forced myself to stay composed as I said goodbye to the 3 of them and walked home alone. Thinking about Mom's desperate desire to get her daughter back, as a mother myself, I could understand just how urgent that feeling must be. But when I thought about having to return this body to Wan Lihua soon, I collapsed helplessly onto the ground. This meant I would have to face death for a second time. That night, as I lay in bed, I finally remembered the memories from when I had possessed her body. The next day, my husband came to the tea house, and the owner told Gijie that he had seen my soul the last time.
小学生の姿じゃないのは久しぶりね。
My husband pressed him about what that meant. It turned out the owner had psychic abilities. He could see the spirits of the dead wandering in this world. My husband asked the owner if there was a way to keep my soul here, but the owner said he was powerless to help. He explained that my husband and I had reached the end of our destined connection in this lifetime. Rather than trying to extend our bond, he suggested my husband should think about why I had come back to find him. At that moment, I also arrived at the tea house and met Miss Showu. We struck up a conversation, and I learned that she really liked my husband and was willing to wait for him. That's when it hit me. Even without me around, my husband would still find happiness. Right then and there, I finally made up my mind to leave. I gathered them all together and told them what had really happened. After I died, my soul had remained in our home, watching them fall apart completely. I desperately wanted to see them again and help them pull themselves together, but I just couldn't make it happen until the day I saw Wan Lihua crying.
悲しいことがあったの？でも消えちゃったらやだな。
I was about to reach out and comfort her when our souls accidentally switched places. So it was time for me to give her body back to her.
大晦日の日、きっとマリカちゃんも戻ってきたいから戻ってきたの。お母さんに会いたくて帰ってきたの。だから
やだ。ママがいないなら生きてる意味なんてない。お願いママ。もういなくならないで。
そうだよ姉ちゃん。今さら無理だよ。姉ちゃんいなくなっちゃったら全員即ゾンビだよ。
My husband didn't want me to leave like this. He said he would find a way for both Wan Lihua and me to live at the same time. But I felt like that would be robbing Wan Lihua of her own life. Seeing how my husband refused to let go, I felt disappointed in him, disappointed in all of them.
前にユウリに言われたわね。姉ちゃんは周りをポンコツにする。その通りだったわ。こんなことになるなら帰ってくるんじゃなかった。
そんなこと言わないでくれ。君が帰ってきてくれたから舞も僕も。
ごめんね。約束は守れない。
いてさえくれればいい。僕は何とかするから。
私がいなくても自分の力でしっかり生きるのよ。信じてるから。
After I finished speaking, I passed out. When I came to, I had turned back into Wan Lihua. Looking at all these strangers in front of her, she felt terrified. But when she saw her mother, she immediately rushed into her arms. From that point on, Wan Lihua and her mother returned to their normal lives. My husband waited for me to bring his lunchbox, just like he always did. But this time, he didn't get anything at all. He could only revert back to being a dejected middle-aged man. Whenever he saw elementary school kids walking by, it reminded him of when I had turned into a little schoolgirl. After I returned, it seemed like nothing had really changed. Once again, I became a wandering spirit, watching as the father and daughter went back to their old ways. Even though I was desperately worried, there was nothing I could do about it. I watched as my husband's coworker got bullied by their boss, but my husband just stood there doing nothing. When my daughter received a text from her boyfriend, she completely ignored it too. As a wandering soul with nowhere to go, I could only kill time at the tea house, since the owner was the only one who could see me. The owner told me that my husband came here every day after work. He always fantasized that I would show up again in the form of a little girl, but each time, he could only go home disappointed. That day, when my husband came home from work, he ran into Mai's boyfriend, who was worried about her. But after my husband called Mai downstairs, she acted really cold toward her boyfriend. She brushed off his kindness and just told him to leave. The boyfriend got the cold shoulder and had to walk away feeling bummed out. When my husband tried to give our daughter some advice, all he got in return were her complaints.
じゃあなんて言えばよかったわけ？ママが10年ぶりに帰ってきたけど、またいなくなっちゃったって。あの時私、ママと一緒に消えちゃえばよかったんだ。
After listening to what our daughter had to say, my husband finally realized just how cold he had been toward her over these past 10 years. That's why she could never get over losing her mother. He sat at the dining table feeling heartbroken, constantly replaying the words I had said to him.
そんな風に生きるには、残りの人生は長すぎない？今までだって、これからだって父親でしょ？顔を上げなさいよ。信じてるから。
So my husband decided to pull himself together. He couldn't afford to be as dejected as he was 10 years ago. Instead, he needed to step up and take responsibility as a father. He had to help his daughter get through this dark period and head toward a brighter future.
ない、お父さん行くからな。お昼のおにぎりもあるから。
My husband took the initiative to approach his boss and resolve the conflict between his coworker and the boss. But when he came home from work, he noticed that the rice ball on the table hadn't been touched. My husband felt like he had been too half-hearted about it, so he immediately got on his bike and went to the supermarket to buy the freshest ingredients. Following some tutorials, he made a hearty dinner from scratch, then went to call our daughter to eat again. But our daughter still didn't want to eat. This time, my husband refused to give up. He opened up and told our daughter what was really in his heart. He felt that over these past 10 years, he had been the worst father imaginable. Back then, he hadn't realized that he wasn't the only one who had lost a wife. Our daughter had lost a mother who used to shield her from life's storms. He had been so wrapped up in his own grief that he forgot our daughter was just as heartbroken as he was, maybe even more so. He had dragged her into living like a walking corpse. It wasn't until I came back for that brief time that he discovered our daughter also had this charming ability to make people happy. He regretted not facing the sadness together with her, not searching together for a way to keep living. There I came back as an elementary school student. He was ashamed that he was still depending on me and making me worry about him, so he decided he wouldn't be dejected anymore. From now on, he and our daughter would live in the future that I had left behind for them.
ゆっくりでいい。どれだけ時間がかかっても、もう二度と舞のこと投げ出さないから。
カズ、何？
焦げた唐揚げとしょっぱいオムライス。
Finally, the father and daughter pulled themselves together and bravely ate their way through that meal. After saying goodbye to everyone, I prepared for the next cycle of life, but my soul hadn't changed at all. Just then, Wan Lihua's soul came over to me. She asked if I was really willing to leave like this.
もう十分わがままさせてもらったから。
会いたいって思うのはわがままなんかじゃないよ。
会いたい。もう一度だけでいいから。会いたいよ。家族に会いたい。
So she gave me one day to say my final goodbyes to my family. At that moment, my husband was cooking in the kitchen when the doorbell rang. Both father and daughter were puzzled and rushed to open the door. As they expected,
おはよう。今日は何の日か覚えてる？
the two of them excitedly threw their arms around me. This day was our 10th wedding anniversary after my death. I told them that Wan Lihua and Mom had given me one day to come back and say my final farewell to the family.
必ずまりかちゃんをお返しします。
高井さん、いってらっしゃい。
Learning that I only had one day, my husband didn't show any disappointment. The man he had become could now see only one day as still having one day. After breakfast, I took my daughter shopping. In the mall, we picked out spring outfits, one after another. Every time my daughter tried on new clothes, I would break into a contented smile. Without hesitation, I bought all the clothes my daughter liked. Yes, yes.
はい Yes, we can! あ、5回で。
あのワンピも可愛くない？
可愛すぎるよ。
いやいや、絶対前に
すいません、7回で。
I also carefully selected an expensive necklace. When my husband saw the price, his eyes went wide, and he nearly fainted thinking we'd go bankrupt. But I insisted that good things are worth investing in after all. They're cost effective when they last long.
きっと前が30代になっても似合うと思う。
これ、いただきます。
ありがとうございます。
When we got home, I seriously tackled the household chores. I asked my daughter to hang all her new clothes on hangers properly, and I even planned to clean the window screens.
今？
気づいたら後回しにしない。言ったでしょ。丁寧にお手入れしてあげれば、家だっていい写真の撮り方できるんだから。大切にしてあげて、これからも。
So my husband started tidying up the house. My daughter felt that I was doing all the giving, and she and dad wanted to do something for me too.
なんでも。
So I had my daughter go apologize to her boyfriend. My daughter told her boyfriend that once she got her emotions sorted out, she would tell him everything. Only then did her boyfriend feel relieved he thought he had done something wrong that made my daughter hate him. I could see the genuine feelings between them. So that I could be properly asked for her hand as a parent, I suggested playing a marriage proposal game, having her boyfriend formally ask my husband and me for her hand.
こんな時だけ小学生ぶって。
そうだぞ。
何でもしてくれるって言ったじゃない。
So her boyfriend started performing from the moment he walked through the door. I thought it was just for fun, but the boyfriend was completely serious, saying he wasn't playing a game. His heart belonged only to my daughter, and he promised to make her happy.
今はまだ未熟ですけど、ちゃんと地に足つけて、それで必ずマリさんを幸せにします。だから、お父さん、お母さん、マリさんと結婚させてください。
デンジさん、顔上げてください。これからいろいろ大変なことがあるかもしれないけど、思いもよらないことが起こるかもしれないけど、舞と一緒にいろんな幸せをたくさん見つけていってください。娘をよろしくお願いします。
After taking care of my daughter's happiness, I also started hinting to my husband not to be so absolute in his words and to consider Miss Moria. Just then, my husband suddenly thought of something. He quickly called Miss Moria and even told her about my return, asking her to do him a favor. Then he hurried home, leaving just the two of us standing on the street. When we got home, I saw my husband busily working. My lifelong dream had been to open a restaurant. To fulfill my wish, he was transforming our home into a temporary restaurant.
私ね、いつか自分のレストランを開きたいの。自分が育てた野菜で料理をして、それをお客さんに食べてもらう。最高じゃない？
I never expected that my husband would still remember a dream I had almost forgotten myself. He had even invited old friends over. On this special day, I put on my apron and walked into the kitchen. Before long, the house was filled with guests. My husband and I brought the dishes we had prepared to the table. The restaurant gradually filled with laughter and cheerful conversation. Everyone was tasting the food, their faces glowing with warmth. Looking at the empty plates, my heart was full of happiness. I loved these moments of sharing good food, letting everyone feel the warmth of togetherness through the meal. My husband was also basking in this warmth, and a smile quietly crept across his face. At the end of the gathering, we took a group photo together, letting the camera capture this brief but beautiful time. After all the guests had eaten their fill, we saw them off, while cleaning up the dishes. I thought my wish had finally been fulfilled, but suddenly I remembered our vegetable garden. The vegetables and herbs I had carefully cultivated had been neglected for 10 years and had become overgrown wilderness. I told my husband to tend to it when he had time.
ダメだ。後回しはダメだ。いつかじゃなくて、今やろう。
So we found my daughter's boyfriend, who hadn't gone far yet, and rode in his car to the garden. I remembered the scene from 25 years ago when I first met my husband. He We had eaten bell pepper, lion's head, meatballs, and choked because they were too spicy. In that moment, I was certain that if I married him, we could definitely build a warm family. As it turned out, my intuition was right. I told my husband not to always wear such a sour expression. Everyone has to go eventually, and before then, we should enjoy life happily. I told my daughter that it wasn't true, that she had never given anything to me. From the moment she was born, she had given me, as her mother, countless moments of happiness. I hope that in the future, my daughter would continue to live with a smile. We spent our last night together like this. The next morning, we planted chili seedlings together.
大好き。大好き。会いに来てくれてありがとう。
ありがとう、高江。帰ってきてくれて。ありがとう。僕の妻でいてくれて。
おやすみ。With a gentle good night, I slowly closed my eyes. When I opened them again after daybreak, the real Wan Lihua had returned.
おはよう、マリカちゃん。
おかえり。
ママ何作ってるの？
オムライス。
オムライス？やった！ When my husband came home later, he was delighted to discover that I had secretly changed my memorial photo to a better looking one. At the end of the story, although my daughter and husband still missed me, they had learned to face it with acceptance. My visit not only healed the family's pain, but also gave them all new strength to move forward. My story ends here. Goodbye.